Welcome to another episode of The Lone Wolf. I am Nicole Aseneville, and I'm your host. Today, I have a very special guest. Drum roll, please. Another lone wolf, a fellow lone wolf, my friend, my wolf in
sheep clothes.
Come on, babe. In the sheep clothing, a co-wolf. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
We're gonna start saying that. My co-wolf,
Yeah.
Taiwo Adeyemi. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm happy to be here. Finally, this is happening.
How does it feel that we have cameras? Because we talk a lot, we're friends, and we have...
I'm trying to ignore them.
Okay.
I'm trying to ignore them.
Yeah.
But it feels good to share a little of the things we know about each other with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
So when you hear, or when you first heard me talk about Lone Wolf, what did you feel?
I felt like you just unlocked the philosophy.
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, first of all, I'll give you guys some background. So I said to Taiwo, I had an idea for a newsletter. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've just thought about this idea of how every creative is a lone wolf. And Taiwo listens to me as he usually does, as I'm rambling. And I'm talking about this concept of a lone wolf and this newsletter that I think will be very, very important and helpful to people. And Taiwo says, I don't think it's a newsletter. I think it is a philosophy.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, when he said that, I felt it in my chest, in my body. It sat with me, a philosophy. And I'm like, I didn't even get it.
There are sometimes you only need a word to power through life. Or a phrase or a sentence. And lone wolf sounded to me like this is a driver for life. This is something that you can build into a reminder, a transmedia reminder that you can share a bit with the world, but it's for yourself primarily. That every day you wake up, you're a lone wolf because of every decision that you've made that has led you here. So I really think that a newsletter is just one of it. A podcast is just one of it. This is not it. Even the podcast is not it. It's bigger than that. But every single expression that you lend to it is coming together to reinforce that philosophy of being the lone wolf. So it was a no-brainer, and of course you ran with it. Here we are. I ran with it. You ran with it like a wolf.
I ran with it like a wolf. Okay, because you see, this is why I'm so appreciative of your friendship. Because you're able to take something and then crystallize it or cement it. And I think as creatives, who you surround yourself with really does reflect on your output. Because if I had come to you and said, hey, I have this newsletter, I want to talk about a lone wolf, and you had said, Aspar, like what? Aspar, lone wolf, how?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, we should.
I would have, and I think I'm big enough or far into my journey enough to know, first of all, who to bring my ideas to, because not everybody I'm going to call when I have an insight.
Yeah.
Number one. But at the same time, there are some times that there were people that I trust that I can bring something to that might not necessarily take it further than me. They could just reinforce it like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. You should do that.
Yeah.
But you said, this is a philosophy.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Don't mention it.
We are here today because of time.
Don't mention it. Happy to be here.
Happy to
How are
be
you?
here. Wow. It's such a nice question.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? I'm joking. I feel in this moment, I feel very present. I feel very aligned. I feel like the wilderness is making sense. I feel like I am with a fellow, I'm with a co-wolf, okay? And we're just trudging along the journey. Like, this is a very
love it.
Beautiful time. We're in this beautiful terrain and we're just staying.
Yeah.
And we're just sharing insights. Yeah. So I'm feeling very grounded.
Love it.
How are you feeling?
I am present. Overwhelmed because so much is going on at the same time, but every day is a new day and I just feel present. And today I have like a million things to do, but I'm here and I'm not thinking about anything. You were asking me, I have a heart up. Yeah, I do, but like I don't care about it in this moment. I'm here.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. And I think that that's the only way to really navigate the wilderness, this crazy schedule of like creative people trying to do many things at the same time. When you're doing one thing, you're doing that thing. I was speaking to, there's somebody I was talking to who is like 10 times busier than I am. And the kind of rapt attention that the person was giving me. And I know that the person had to be like saving the world. Just like, it's really important to be present as a creative person because you can be absent-minded a lot because we are constantly building. So it's a rare gift to just stay in the moment and just be. And just be. So I am here. That's how I am.
I have one nickname for Taiwo, but he's told me not to say it on camera, but this is why
if you say it, we'll never see this podcast, so you can see it.
Inside the label of the Jabba. But I will respect your wishes.
Likewise. You are as deep. That's why I don't think we have casual conversations, which is very weird. Yeah. Any small thing, we're already deep. Can we just talk about...
No, but that's why I can't need that.
A social media trend or something?
There's so many conversations that we've had that I've been like, this should be a podcast, this should be a podcast. Yeah. And you know what? People say that all the time. They say, everybody, to an extent, thinks that they're having great conversations. To an extent. And then people think, this should be. But I think the difference between us and people, or what we're doing now, is that we're actually doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
Today we were talking about about this year, that the time between ideation and execution has been very short.
Yeah. Crunching
it. I'm telling you, this philosophy came about 3 weeks ago. And today...
It's seeing the light of day.
Yeah. There is something in the doing and the making of an idea and not wasting time that is powerful. Very, very powerful. Don't start it. But it's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get into the episode. We're lone wolves. But we were once part of a pack. We were once part of a family of wolves in different aspects and places in the world, right? As creatives, as lone wolves, there's always a point, right? That you're at the edge. You're at the edge. You might not realize that you're at the edge, but you're somewhere that there is fear. You're somewhere that you're afraid to go to, that you're afraid to step into. There's that thing that the pack has told you is the place you can't go, is the place that you fall into the abyss. You are at the edge. What was that moment for you? What was your edge moment? And how did you step into it?
Are you ready for the answer?
I don't want to swear, but I'm ready.
I think that this pack that I talk about disguises as the things that we care about, especially in this part of the world, like family, like education, like career. They're all packs, you know.
Awesome stuff.
And the edge for me was education. Because the way I saw education was not the way everybody saw it. And there was nobody that could understand my approach to education. I was very alone. I was never trying to be a vagabond. You know, when people leave school in Nigeria,
Not a vagabond.
Yeah.
A vagabond.
homeless, like aimless,
No.
NFA. Do you know what they call NFA? No future ambition.
Jesus.
That's when you leave school or you don't want to go to school in Nigeria, you're an NFA. Yeah.
Never heard that before.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I was not an NFA. I was very clear that my direction is different.
What was that? What was that feeling? What was that clarity? What was that?
I think it's first of all finding yourself in a room where you just look around and nobody's like you. Everybody is a nerd in the sense where they want to use science to solve towards problem, which is great. I was in school to study civil engineering. If you look at me today and you think about that, yeah. And this was because, again, I come from a very traditional family.
Right.
They want doctors, they want lawyers, they want engineers. And because that's the reality that they were born into themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the metrics of success.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
Right.
However, when I started growing up, there were people that were really doing really interesting things outside of the conventional career paths. But my mom was like, no.
People like who and played things like what?
So like football. There were people in sports that didn't step in school and were earning £80,000 a week.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, there's something that your skill sets can do for you that education can, but to take a long time.
Right.
So I was very skill led. I was very creative. I am very creative. Like I was a talented child. I used to paint as a child. I used to do all of these things. And imagine your parents seeing all of that and they're still saying no because we want safety for you. And I now know how to word it better because at the time I thought it was just, ignorance. They just, but they just wanted safety. They just wanted you to be safe. And how do you measure safety? Do what we already know. Do what your uncle did. Do what your cousin did that gave them the result that you can see.
Right.
So it's safety.
So that edge is So take us back to the education and how.
So the education was eventually coming into uni after doing sciences, primary, secondary, uni. But I wanted to do the arts. But there was no room for that. I have 3 sisters. They all were in the arts and social sciences. I was forced into, you are the man. Why are you doing the arts? So there was already a wrong premise as to why I was going for this thing anyway.
Right.
So I knew that I would not finish it.
Ooh.
I knew that I would not finish it. I knew that I was going to leave and learn my own way and find education my own way. But obviously they're paying my bills. They did all of these things and I went to do it. But every time I'm in class, I will leave class and go to a music studio or go and do creative things.
Right. Lone wolf already.
Yeah, I was already like finding myself out of the path,
Right.
So it was annoying that I can't really explain how it came to be because I had read about, dropouts in America and how successful they've become, but it didn't mean that Nigeria is the same place where you leave school and then you have that kind of success. So I really feel like it was very jarring at the beginning when I left because I stopped going to class.
But I want to know how you left.
Okay, let me tell you how I left.
Like, I want to know that edge moment.
So it was my 3rd year. I was in class. And I knew that I had 2 more years. And the question was, am I going to do this for another 2 years? Because if you're going to spend, the earlier you make that decision, the better. So I stopped going to class. And if you stop going to class, it's still okay. You can still get somebody to do these things, to give you notes. But the moment you stop writing exams,
Like,
you're done, yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
by degree.
So, so the year I didn't write an exam was the moment I knew that, this is the edge. But I was still in school. My parents didn't know this. I would go to class. Obviously, I'm talking to them. They're like, how is school? School is good. But there was somebody who was nosy in my business and knew I wasn't going to classes or I wasn't writing exams. And then I think she followed my sister on Facebook, or she was friends with my sister on Facebook, and she DM'd my sister. Oh, your brother is not.
She's part of the pack. She's an op.
Yeah. But she doesn't know what she did for me, because I was looking for how to even communicate it. She set me free in ways she will never understand.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. So, but I was scared. I was very afraid. I knew that was the decision to make. But I knew what I wanted to do next, but it was scary. So I was on this edge for another 1 year.
Wow. So in the first episode, I spoke about how people rarely talk about how long the long suffering is. And you think, oh, you're at the edge, and then you're on the edge for like 10 days, and then you have a decision. You're at the edge for a year.
Yeah. For a year.
Knowing, feeling, being afraid, knowing, but you're not wanting to disappoint.
Yeah, my bias.
Ooh.
Trying to prove to myself that I wasn't wrong. Because when you make a decision that's risky, you need confirmation.
Right. So where did your confirmation
come from? To say to you that, yeah, you will be fine. But there was nobody that said to me.
So how did you then get to that point where you knew it was okay to make this decision?
Richard Branson.
I love when outside sources that you have never met.
He has no idea where.
For me, it was Mad Men and Don Draper, fictional characters. For you, it was Richard Branson. Yeah. Tell me the story.
I read a book called The Virgin Way. And he was everything that I wanted to be. He also left school, he became a lone wolf from 17.
Wow.
Yeah. And he started building. I read everything he had published. And I knew that I wasn't mad. I wasn't crazy. Even though it was a far cry to, okay, maybe I won't be as successful as Richard Branson, but if I have 10% of what he has, I'm good.
That reminds me of it's different, but the Bible verse where the woman with the issue of blood touches the hem of Jesus's coat and say, if I just touch the hem of his garment,
I don't need to help you.
Be healed.
Yeah.
If I just have 10% of what Richard Branson has, I'm good.
I'm good. So I had gone home to confront my parents after, the whistleblower came through. And then they were so disappointed. They were so disappointed. But a lone wolf can't explain himself.
Nope.
Yeah, like you just...
Sorry, can you say that again?
A lone wolf cannot explain himself.
Okay.
You look stupid. I looked very stupid. I looked like I didn't know what I was doing, So they presented me with...
Facts. Logic.
Yeah. This. I said, well, there's nothing you're going to do about it. I've already made it. It's too late. Yeah. Okay, no problem. You have to sign an undertaking.
I love this story.
So they draft this undertaking document that says you have decided to go your own way. They were defining what my life will become, but they thought they were scaring me or threatening me. I wish I have a copy of it because I framed it. You decided to go your own way despite doing all our best on you or something like that. Whatever happens, good or bad, is yours to bear. Signature family, signature you. It was an Easter Sunday, so everybody was around, my sisters, and I signed it without even thinking. And from that moment, I knew I had no choice.
Wow.
Yeah, so I left home.
I mean, I just have something that just came to me. So you signed this undertaking Easter Sunday, or the Easter period.
It was Easter.
Easter. And this undertaking was essentially whatever happens, good or bad, you are
on your own.
Yeah. And around the same time, maybe a decade later, this year, during Easter, you will be in Oxford with a Skoll Fellowship, one of the most prestigious fellowships in the world.
How are you drawing this line? How did you draw this line?
Because the creative journey is not linear. Your parents could never have envisioned this trajectory for you.
It's
No
crazy.
one could have envisioned this trajectory from a university dropout. But you knew that there was something.
And you,
And I think it's very important for creative to realize that the knowing is not the full picture. You will not know the full picture. You will not know, but you know.
yeah.
There is a knowing that this box, this pack, these people, we are not the same.
Yeah.
We are not the same. If you look at my family picture,
Yeah.
I am not the same.
Yeah.
I am a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Period. And the only way you can be a lone wolf is if you have the courage to go beyond the edge. That's the only way. That's the only way.
It was incredibly difficult, especially because, if you drop out in America, it's a land of dreams now. Nigeria is not a land of dreams.
Not a land of dreams.
So
Yeah.
everything you're doing 3 times harder. You're trying to prove a point.
Right.
You're trying to prove to yourself, prove to everybody that, well, this can't be the only way.
Right.
So yeah, I went across the edge in fear, in spite of the fear. I spent that year reading everything I could read about people that walked the path I was about to take. Richard Branson was one of them. At the end of that year, after leaving school, after consuming every information I could, read everything readable, research like a madman, I knew I wasn't going to fail. I knew for sure that there was something that I was going to step into that would make it all these big risks make sense. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the wilderness, right? So you've left the edge. You're now in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And people always think of the wilderness as a destination, right? But I know that it's a journey. Sometimes you get into the wilderness and it's like amazing. Oh, you're in the wilderness. A thrill. You're by yourself. You're discovering new terrains. You're meeting other lone wolves. Because a lone wolf is not alone. A lone wolf is not lonely. There are other lone wolves.
Yeah.
And so when you step into the wilderness, you see your people, right? And so there's a thrill, there's a scent of lone wolves that you recognize, and you feel seen, and you feel like you're on the right path. Until
For me, I didn't find other lone wolves in my wilderness. I mean,
What was your
I
wilderness?
eventually found people like you.
Right.
It took a long time.
tell me your wilderness
My
experience.
wilderness was leaving school, coming to Lagos. Lagos was the wilderness. I lived in Ibadan all my life. In a safe city, small, comfortable. Don't drink too much. If you have 150K a month, 100K a month, you're good. You go out in the morning, you come back by 8 p.m. Nobody stays out late. That's how I brought up. So I moved to this Lagos. It was a wilderness, and navigating through it was very intense. I made a lot of mistakes. I met people. I left people. I got jobs without a degree in this wilderness. And then I knew that, okay, as a creative person, they need your portfolio. And I started designing. I went to advertising school. So that's what people don't know. So when I say I dropped out of civil engineering because that's not what I should be doing. I went back to learn the things I really wanted to do, which was advertising, creatives, design, etc. So I got jobs in this.
Sorry, I just want to point that out because a lot of people don't realize the importance as a creative to learn the skill,
Yeah.
to learn the craft.
You have to.
So a lot of people say, I want to write. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever considered paying for a writing class?
Yeah. Go to the class.
Go to the class.
But the good thing with creative classes is that it's not just the conventional 4 walls.
Right.
The people teaching you are happy. They are fulfilled. They are doing what they love.
Wow.
Nobody in Nigerian university that teaches you is happy.
Wow.
They're sad.
Can you just imagine that you're being taught by somebody who literally wants to blow their brains out?
Yeah.
Like that is
They're very sad.
the fundamental thing of our education.
Yeah, those are
Foundational.
transferring knowledge to you.
Jay.
They are very unhappy. So they're looking for how you will fail. They're trying to fail you.
Jesus.
Like, you don't need to, it's not about what you know, it's about how I feel about you. Yeah. So, but with the creative classes, you know that, okay, this person is like me. You won't, anyway, so I went through all of that and I got jobs in advertising agencies that also were not great. So I was still navigating this wilderness. And then I lost my father. So I think that was another edge that ended up in the wilderness, because even though I left school and I had all of this lonely journey, etc., I still had some support. Like, my father was still my friend. My mother was the one that was like, nah, my father was still my friend. So we spoke often. When I dabbled into music, he was very supportive. That name, that nickname, that stage name that we would never mention was my father. That gave me that name, and he was very supportive of that. So I felt like even if I failed, I knew that I wasn't going to fail, but even if, I ran back to my father.
Oh, so
now there was nowhere to run to.
wow.
Yeah.
So now you were really a lone wolf.
I was really alone.
So now your wilderness was the home.
Yeah. Like, there was no going back.
There was no going back.
There was no going back. And that changed my life in profound ways, in ways that I don't think I can ever recover from. For the good and for the better, and also for the worse, you know.
How? In what way? How did it change your life? Yeah.
I needed a father. I didn't know how much I needed a father as like an only boy growing up in an African family. To see, there were so many decisions I was trying to make in this wilderness that the father would have been really great to, oh, hey dad, what do you think about this? And then I didn't have a great relationship with my mom at the time. So who do you call? Nobody. Literally nobody. So you're finding the other lone wolves, but you're not sure whether they're lone wolves or not. They're in the pack, you know. So you're trying to be careful with the kind of friends you make. And it was a very tragic death. So I really struggled with everything about life. You know, that was the point of it all. Like, this wilderness, this lone wolf, is it really worth it? Should I just go and join the pack?
And why didn't you go back?
It's a wiring. I tried to go back, but when you go back into a place, I just feel like you're not supposed to be here.
What was the thing that you tried?
I went back to Ibadan.
Wow.
Yeah, I went back. I moved back, but not to the house. But I just felt I needed some form of safety. Familiarity. Yeah, that's the word. So I moved to my aunt's when my aunt's house, and I really didn't fit in. I knew that I needed to go back to that wilderness. Yeah.
So you went back to the wilderness?
So I came back again to this wilderness. The wilderness kept calling me back. Yeah.
Wait, you said something? The wilderness kept calling me back.
Yeah.
And I think that's another important thing, because a lot of times, like, when we go back to the pack, then, you know, you feel this tug, this calling, and it's up to you to answer it or to deny it. And I find, like I said in the first episode, you know, the calling is a whisper. Right? It's not this loud voice that's gone back to the wilderness.
Whisper.
It's a whisper. And the more times that you ignore that whisper, the quieter and quieter it gets. Until you can't hear it anymore.
Wow.
Until you find yourself in the pack with no joy, with no ambition, with nothing to hold on to, and you're looking at people through social media that are in the wilderness like there's some kind of difference between you and them. And you're like, wow, she's so creative. You were supposed to be. But you didn't listen to that calling. You didn't listen to that quiet voice. You listened to your parents or your friends or your family who were also too afraid to listen to their own voices or who had limitations because of how they were brought up.
Wow.
Sorry, mate. Well,
Wow.
just gotta be real.
It's true because
Yeah.
I heard it and I moved back. But I didn't move back to find, it wasn't easy moving back, really. Like,
never
you
easy.
know, I was staying with friends, I didn't have a home, I didn't like, if you know where I used to live, when I moved back, ha, but it was necessary, it was character building, it was the making of the wolf.
So this guy does. Because that's going to be the BTS, the making of the wolf.
That's what
Okay.
it was. But sometimes it's smelling, sometimes it's dirty. Sometimes I needed to like step on stones to get into my house because there was no clear path.
Wow.
Sometimes I had to go to the office to shower because I couldn't use the bathroom in the face my face house I was paying for. So it was bad. Yeah.
What kept you going?
There was. I can't go home. I don't have a father.
There you go. You didn't have a choice.
You know, like even the home that I thought I had in Lagos, which was my uncle's space, they sent me out. So,
But you spoke about having a knowing, like you knew you were not going to fail.
yeah,
Did that stay? Did that knowing stay even during the hard times?
it stayed, but the volume was going up and down. You know.
Yeah.
When you're sleeping in the car park of a bank in Allen Avenue, the volume will go down.
Jesus.
Yeah, like, okay, maybe I'm going to fail.
Wow.
Yeah, but
But you didn't.
I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I need to think about it properly because there has to be something that kept me going. There was something. There was this irrational belief in myself. Almost overconfidence, but not overconfident, but like just delusion. You know what we call delusion?
Delulu.
Yeah.
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 We're Delulu.
I was just delusional.
Yeah.
I was earning what, 30K, and I was paying that 30K back to where I was staying the week, and I somehow see. I think that this thing about listening to people that have done what you want to do or watching them is so important. I have this thing. I don't know if it's a philosophy. I call it the human reference.
It's a philosophy.
Yeah.
The human reference.
Human-
It even sounds like a philosophy.
So the human reference is this thing where you find somebody who is living the life you want to live, whether they know you, whether they don't, and consume them like a stupid person.
So that's that guy.
So yeah, I've had different like human references. Sometimes I have yearly human reference, so I have multiple. In a Clarence Evans
Clarence Evans, that's it.
is my everlasting human reference.
Right.
You know, it changes, but understanding that somebody has done this and they have one head, I checked.
Not too.
I checked.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I think that these things are possible. So these things are possible became my favorite quote.
Wow.
At the time, I used to tweet it every day.
These things are possible.
Yeah, I tweet it every day. This thing.
Things are possible.
I think when it became possible, I got tired of tweeting.
Wow.
I have a shirt that
Right.
says these things are possible.
Love that.
Because I think the tragedy is not believing that it's possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to like have this irrational belief in yourself when you're in the wilderness.
And I just love that idea of multiple human references, right?
Yeah.
And
This person did it. This person did it.
and the word reference is very key. Because you didn't say multiple human idols.
No,
You didn't say
Yeah.
multiple, you know,
not
you
even multiple human mentors.
mentors.
No.
You said references.
References, yeah.
To look at this person's journey and
Yeah.
to see the possibility
Yeah.
in yourself
Yeah.
that this is a human being that has one head
Yeah.
and
check.
they achieved that. And you check.
That did it.
That did it.
I'm like, oh, so I'm a
So
big,
it's a proof of concept. And then
being a
pick-
big fan of
Jesus.
being a big fan of
Are you guys like
memoirs and like biopics and documentaries and seeing things that happen.
Yeah.
Like this thing happened.
Yeah.
For somebody like me that's very impressionable, I'm going to believe it can happen to me too.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, so like for everything I build, I don't like to be the first to do it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, it has happened already. Somebody has done it. Problems. So that really helped, having those human references. But it helped, but there were days where it looked impossible.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you are the only person in your body, in your experience, in your skin.
Yeah.
So that person,
Yeah.
but it is great to have that as pointers.
You know, sometimes you need a confirmation. And the confirmation, one of the confirmations I got was, I was earning my 30K. And I got a call from Lekki. Again, somebody that lives in Ibadan. Lekki is heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like,
And now where do you live? You live in Lekki, right?
yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm
just saying, like, you know what I mean?
And it was some guy who says, oh, he saw my portfolio somewhere and he wanted to have a chat. And I go to this office and I'm like, oh, I want to work here. And he says, oh, I need a creative director for this startup. It's a creative agency, but I'm just coming out of oil and gas. I don't have the time, but I need somebody to run it. I'm like, why do you think I can do this? He said, I don't know. So I don't know. I just saw what you've done, and let's try it. And because I was very unhappy where I was, with this 30K and different levels of abuse, right? I didn't even tell them that I just left.
Like, you're a lone wolf, man.
Just
you know?
even for my employer in this 30K job is a contractor to me now. Like I pay for his service. Yeah.
Wow.
I pay for his service for something that he does.
Wow.
Yeah, in this first job, yeah. And it was a very interesting thing when I left and I got to this new place and the guy said, oh, what do you want to earn every month? And imagine 30K. So I was like, okay, maybe I should say 50K. Yeah, that's a big jump. And then they say 150K. Just add the 100. And I said,
Who said? Something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. And I said 150K. And I said, oh, okay, that's fine. I'm like, ooh. So again, if you know the year I'm talking about, this
That
was
was
like
something.
breakthrough.
Come on. Yeah.
So the first thing I did was to call the people that gave me undertaking. My mother. I have a job and they're paying me 150K, but I didn't believe it until the first salary came and it was in cash.
Wow.
I went to Ibadan and I gave my mom half of it. And she was convinced that I was into fraud. You know. She called all my sisters. She was like, she still didn't believe, like the kind of belief I have in myself. My mom didn't have 1% of it until it became evident and inevitable that this guy is going to be successful. So as I'm reminding myself, I'm reminding her every time that you gave me this thing. You said it was a 50-50. Yeah. So it was validation that, okay, maybe these things are really possible. But there again, I didn't stay long. I left again because I wasn't meant to be in that pack.
Right.
So there is this, I'm careful with the way I say this. You can be confused about being unsettled and being a lone wolf. Like, you know, so creative people always move from place to place to place to place. And there can be this, you know, confusion whether, am I a lone wolf or I just don't have staying power?
Okay.
So you have to be careful to like decipher
Which one it is.
Which one it is. Because a lone wolf does not mean you have to like jump from place to place.
No, 100% not. No.
However, there are different species of lone wolves as well.
Right.
Yeah, it's like there are different species of dogs. But they are dogs, they're in the same family. So I knew that employment wasn't for me. Yeah, I knew. So I'm just trying to clarify so that people don't think I'm saying
Jump from place to place. Yeah. How long were you at that job?
A year.
Okay.
I was there for a year.
Okay.
And
I think a year
yeah,
is a good time in terms of like if you're trying to take the temperature of how long I should stay in a place.
Yeah.
I think a year just shows a willingness to learn, a willingness to see the terrain, unless it is a shitty situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that job I had.
Obviously, you have to you don't take any kind
too
of
much. I was like, sayonara. If you're watching this, peace. Right?
Yeah.
But aside from that,
yeah,
I think a year is a good temperature.
And yeah, but I came back to the wilderness again. So I keep coming back to the wilderness. And I've been in the wilderness since then.
Right.
I haven't left.
Right.
I
don't think you ever leave the wilderness as a lone wolf.
I haven't found myself in any park that I can claim.
I think that lone wolves, and I think that's the thing, like a lot of us are lone wolves, and a lot of us have created this journey on our own, right? We've come into this without understanding really what it is. We followed a knowing, we followed life experiences that have forced us, you know. I have a different story, but I can draw parallels in that I remember when my dad told me he wasn't going to pay rent for me anymore. So that was my first, I wouldn't say it was into the wilderness, but it was like, I have to start making financial decisions. I have to start making sure that I'm looking for jobs that can sustain me. I have to start being more independent because I was still part of the pack. Yeah, I was dabbling in creativity, doing the magazine, doing the blogging. But if the pack is still your benefactor, you're on the payroll of the pack, you're still part of the pack. Right? So when I stopped getting money from my dad, then I had to make independent decisions. And that ultimately made me more of a lone wolf because they couldn't ask me questions anymore.
Yeah.
So if I say I'm going here, I'm going here. If I say I'm traveling to this place, I'm traveling to this place. They just say, okay, we'll be safe. You know? But they're not questioning me anymore because they're not tied to it. So I do think we all have that, but we all go into this journey and we start this journey. But then there comes a point where every lone wolf needs co-wolves, right? And I think what I see in the Nigerian landscape of creativity, because our terrain is so different. If we were going to look at the wilderness of America, like you said, America is the land of opportunity. Yeah. There were lone wolves that came hundreds of years before the lone wolves that are existing now. So they had a blueprint. Yeah. They had multiple human references to see, right? So it wasn't such a novel thing. Yeah. They understood. It was 2011 when I watched Mad Men and I knew that a job called copywriting existed.
Yeah.
Right? But Hollywood gave me the reference. There was nothing in Nigeria to show me that existed, right? So now we have kind of created our own jaga terrain. We found our way to be successful on our own. We've come along the journey. We've met each other. We're co-wolves. But I think what is missing is a lone wolf pack of excellent lone wolves that are in this journey that come together to collaborate beyond.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what you're solving.
That's what this is. Yeah. And that's what I hope it grows into. Yeah. That there is this ecosystem of lone wolves with structure, you know? And I think it's so important because people look at maybe somebody like me and they can't necessarily fully see themselves in me. I don't reflect back to them in the mirror. They know there's something I'm saying that resonates, but I am different. So it's so important that the different species of lone wolves find themselves, because initially I had only found lone wolves or gravitated to lone wolves like myself. Those are the only wolves I really liked. Because I didn't
species.
I would say my species of lone wolf is free-spirited, a lone wolf that doesn't look at what other lone wolves are doing, decides to dress how they feel comfortable, how they want. A lone wolf that is on her own J. Like, I wake up in the morning, I have my own routine, I don't concern myself with the world, I am inside my wilderness, I am speaking to my God, I am not on the same terrain as anybody else. If you meet me and you're on my vibe, we can walk together. But if you're not, I will keep you at a distance. You're not part of my journey. Right? However, I have then met people like me, and those are the people that I surround myself with. And while I'm happy with those people, I've also then realized the importance of a species, like an academic lone wolf, who can bring me structure, who can bring me strategic thinking, who can put processes and color code Excel sheets. I'm not going to do that. Never. would I color code an Excel sheet?
Never gonna do that.
I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that, right? But I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't need to. But it's so important. And what I found is that I've made mistakes and I've hired people from the back to come into my world of being a lone wolf. And I'm like, why is this happening? Because they're not lone wolves. So really identifying the different types of lone wolves. You are a different species from me, right? But our species complement each other. I don't know what species you are, but it really complements each other. You are a wise wolf. You came before your time wolf. Yeah. You are a wise wolf. The way you think in your grounding, and I think because of the hardness of your life, the hardness of your experience, you had to grow up a lot quicker than I did. And that other people did. So you have a different point of view. You've seen different jaga terrain. You've seen life. Okay? I don't know what it is to be in a car or be homeless. I've never had that experience. So it's completely different. Yet there are similarities that you cannot even begin to put in writing. Because at the end of the day, we have the same philosophy. We have the same philosophy. We're the same. We are brave. And we are our own people. And we are not threatened. I think, it's very important to understand that lone wolves, and even just being a wolf in general, like you said, a wolf is not a lion. Let's go proverb, okay? A wolf is not a lion, right? There's something very specific about a wolf. There is something very intentional about a wolf. There is something very individual about a wolf. And so it's very important that a lone wolf surrounds themselves by like-minded species.
There's also something very underrated about a wolf.
Talk about it.
Lions are overrated.
And roaring.
They're the kings of the jungle.
Right.
I watched a documentary that fought that claim. They're not. But the point is, they don't see you coming as a lone wolf.
Right.
Everything that you do, everything that you stand for is. So people are often shocked when you happen as a lone wolf, and then they're discrediting, or they're saying it came from nowhere, or this, that. Don't worry. If you want to hear the story, ask.
Right.
So you have to make peace, because being a lone wolf and then being a talent manager.
Wow. Oh my God. I just made that distinction. You're literally with packs all the time. Because you have to, in order to broker deals, you have to talk to people of the pack constantly.
They say in Yoruba, they say if you want to catch a monkey, you do like a monkey, you act like a monkey. So you have to be in the pack sometimes, but having the knowing, when the Bible says, I am in the world, but not of the world. Having that knowing, having the understanding that, yes, I am here now for a certain reason. The moment I'm done, the moment I get what I need from me, I'm back to being on my path as a lone wolf. So that distinction is very clear.
I love that. And it's always like, don't ever forget who you are.
You are. Nah.
Just because you're acting like a monkey doesn't mean you're a monkey. Don't ever forget that you're a wolf. I hear that. And I also think that's important because, somebody asked me literally yesterday, she said, I saw, I've been following you on Instagram but it was in real life. She said, I've just really come across your page and I've read about your story and I've watched videos and, I want, have you ever had a 9 to 5? Have you ever had a 9 to 5? I'm like, yes, my whole career is a 9 to 5. And she said, oh, I was like, yeah.
Interesting.
From 2011 to 2022, I had a 9 to 5. So it's very important that lone wolves understand that when we say you're going into the wilderness, lone wolf is not entrepreneurship.
That's not what it means.
Lone wolf is not, I don't work for somebody or I'm not around packs. please know that the wilderness is a metaphor.
Yeah. When you say know thyself, let me use this monkey illustration again.
Okay.
If you give a monkey a banana and you give it like an iPhone 16 or $1 million, what would the monkey take?
The banana.
Why?
Because it's a monkey.
Yeah.
They like bananas.
Because it doesn't know
Value.
the value. Right. So if you don't know what you're capable of doing, if you don't know, there is no way you will ever happen. There's no way. It's so important.
It's so important. And I also have another insight of like being within the pack. And I'm so happy that we're talking about the wilderness in the midst of the pack.
Yeah.
And it's important because the pack, they're wolves.
Yeah.
Right? They're wolves.
They're also wolves, yeah.
The pack is actually inside the wilderness. So right in there, but they have shelter, they have homes, they have organizations, they have schools, they have all that kind of stuff, and they have structure. So the lone wolf have gone away from the structure. They have gone away from that, and they have terrained further into the wilderness, right? But there are pockets of the wilderness where the packs exist, right? So we live in the same earth. We're not in a different place. We're not. Contrary to popular belief, we do not live in the sky. We are very much on the ground, right? But I think what's important is, like you said, one, know thyself, right? But also what's important is understanding that just because you have to go to the pack to make money, for bread, for whatever, just because you're in these situations, it is very important that you never compromise. And now, maybe being a talent manager and brokering deals and understanding people, it's different. But never compromise how you are as a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Like how you present as a lone wolf. Because you really do dictate how people then view you. Yeah. So I've been in situations where I've worked in, government, right? I've been in situations. Listen, I was in the room. Should I say this? I was in the room. I was in a meeting after Russia bombed Ukraine, discussing what the UAE's response would be.
Power.
I have been in meetings that I cannot talk about.
Yeah.
But I have never worn the suit my father wanted me to wear when I was going to my interview at DDB. Okay? I have always been myself. I have always had my micro pink braids. I have always had my tattoos. I have always had my winged eyeliner. I have always been exactly who the fuck I am. And I have been respected and taken just like that.
Thank you for telling me we can swear on this podcast.
Yeah, you can fucking swear if you want. Sorry, Mom. My mom watches everything. My mom watches all my IGs. My mom watches everything. She knows me now. She knows me. She knows I'm a low. But yeah,
left you alone.
You know what? When I knew that this lone wolf philosophy really, really made sense, I always knew it made sense. But if you're telling somebody in a pack about something, like my mother, and she's like, she followed. She followed. She did say, there's a bit all over the place, but she got it. And I was like, wow, she can get it. Then anybody can. But we spoke about how important it is for every lone wolf to have co-wolves, to meet each other, to see each other. And I know you said that's what we're doing with this podcast, which it is, but that's also what you're doing with Polygon. Very much so. Like, can you just explain even why Polygon came about, what it is, and how many lone wolves you've met since inception?
You are building a platform for lone wolves. But I am to Polygon. I think Polygon by definition is having multiple sides. Many lone wolves are like that. They have different sides. They are not sure what to focus. The society has forced us to pick a side, pick a thing. Polygon is completely fighting that notion. Whatever, how many things do you have? How many things can you do? Because as creative people, we are not meant to be doing one thing. So Polygon is a space that aggregates those kind of people and gives them resources, gives them the space, gives them like whatever they need to just make the idea come to life. And I think that every day I meet lone wolves. It's some people walk into the space and they share an idea and I'm like, it can only be a lone wolf that will think about this. Like, this is phenomenal and we're happy to support. But even beyond Polygon, my work as a talent manager, I represent lone wolves. I represent a lot of people who don't even know. So, do you think you can be a lone wolf and not know?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
For sure.
I think so too. So there are many people that I've met, that I've worked with, that I know that this person they are inevitable. It's a matter of time.
Most lone wolves don't know that they're lone wolves.
Most.
How many?
We need to tell them.
How many people, if you count on your hand,
Yeah. Well, I say, yeah.
move through the world
Yeah.
knowing that they are a lone wolf? There was no language for it.
Yeah.
How do you know if you didn't have the language?
Yeah.
Right? So you might know that you're doing something.
For the language.
Thank you for crystallizing.
Yeah.
Because that could have been a newsletter where I have 14 comments of how, or 6 sometimes, of how it deeply resonated.
Yeah.
Or a voice note from somebody who felt seen. But then telling me that what I am saying is a philosophy.
Yeah.
Man, that word in there.
Yeah.
I don't Google
Yeah.
the meaning of the philosophy. And I only got it when I was in a room where another lone wolf, a big bad lone wolf, badass Buzz,
Okay.
was talking about her philosophy, which is how to be the anatomy of a badass.
Yeah.
And how she embodied that and how she was telling us her story. And I realized, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is a philosophy. This is what Taiwo was saying.
Yeah.
This is how the lone wolf can be
We
moved.
really underrate the concept of having philosophies. Like, if you're listening to this or watching this, I want people to also know that you can also have your own philosophy.
Right.
Right.
There's several philosophies.
Lone wolf can birth another philosophy.
Right.
And you can run with it.
Right.
Because that's the only way, like, nations are built. That's the only way, like, conglomerates are built. Some people sit in a room and decide that this is what we want to be known for.
Yeah.
And everything we use, the things we wear, they're built on philosophy.
I have literally told the stories of countries, so I know this at a fundamental level, how storyteller can...
You know this.
And I think also, even just how I feel speaking, I feel like every time I have spoken in any other platform, I have spoken from the... How do I say this? Every time I have spoken or been invited to a platform to speak, I have spoken from, yes, my point of view, but from a philosophy that is not my own. And so I have never felt more in my skin about what I am speaking about until now.
Wow.
And I think that is because I'm speaking on the foundation of a philosophy
Yeah.
that I have thought through,
Yeah.
that I have prayed about,
Yeah.
that I have read up on, that I have made notes on.
Yeah.
And so I feel so much more grounded as a thought leader and so much more confident in what I am saying. So I think actually it is very important for every lone wolf to have their own philosophy,
Absolutely.
to have their own guiding principles.
Yeah.
So you understand what you believe in, what makes you tick. I think that just makes you a stronger wolf. Like I feel my stripes. You know, I feel my coat. My coat is coming, you know? Like I feel stronger. I feel so much stronger knowing that I'm standing on something other than just an idea.
Yeah. Wow.
So we got a question. We asked on Instagram for people to share their creative journey, any kind of struggles, any obstacles. And so I'm going to actually give you the question to answer. So this is a question. Seems very broad, but where do I start? For context, I've got a Medium account where I post articles, but I want more recognition and money.
I love this person. First of all, coming to the understanding that there's nothing wrong with recognition. is amazing. Because we live in a world where everybody feels like fame is vain. But I'm here to tell you that you need it in some form for the world to hear your story.
Right.
Attention is the currency of the world, right? So I think that in whatever way you can get their attention to give them whatever you need to give them, get it. So first of all, kudos to this person for wanting recognition, but it takes time.
There you go. They're the wisdom. They're the wise lone wolf.
Yeah,
will tell you.
It takes time.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go out optimizing for recognition. You should work.
Right.
You should build. Recognition is not what you go out seeking. As a matter of fact, the kind of people I like to work with as a talent manager is people who are accidentally recognized.
Right.
They are doing amazing things, and the side effect of what they are doing is recognition, is attention, is fame. Because it's inevitable. When you do great work, people will seek you out.
Right.
So whether you're a writer or you're a journalist or whatever it is, like, you're really going to be recognized if you're doing good work.
Right.
Your lights cannot be under if you are really good. So, but it shouldn't be what you are going out to find.
Right.
It will find you if your work is good. So I think focus on building skills that will make you undeniably booked for whatever it is that you do. I don't know what this person does.
Well, she said she had a Medium account, so
like
he
a writer?
said, I'm guessing they're a writer.
Yeah, so keep writing.
Right.
I think you should speak to that.
Right.
You know everything it is to be an unknown writer and what it is to be a known writer. Advise her. Or him.
So yeah, I think keep writing. You have a Medium account. So I think really the question I would ask, or I would ask you to ask yourself, would be, what is your objective, right? You have said that you want recognition and money. I don't know that there's recognition and money on Medium. Yes, people have paid mediums and people have paid Substacks, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of like this landscape and this market, I don't know, and maybe I don't know the platform enough, but it's kind of like looking for, if you want money, then I would say as a writer, you probably should look into providing copywriting services, because brands are looking for writers.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a writer. Every single industry needs a writer.
Yeah.
So it's like positioning yourself and looking at the industries and saying, how can I apply my skills in these industries that pay a little better, right? So you want to look for brands that are doing campaigns, or you want to look for companies that have the brands that are doing the campaigns. And so I think there's a level of strategy that has to come in for you to identify places where your writing can be monetized. Yeah. And then on the side, be doing the writing that, my brother once referred to my writing, my younger brother, Toby, referred to my writing as an investment, right? So he was talking about all these things he was planning on doing. And I was feeling a bit, I was like, wow, my younger brother is making all these investments and buying houses, and I don't have land, right? And he said, yeah, but your novel is your investment.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, Jesus. Because I never saw it that way. Yeah. I just saw it as this thing that I've been writing and I can't finish. And he's like, no, that's your investment. Yeah. So to this person writing Medium articles, what is the long-term plan? Are the Medium articles ever going to become a book?
Yeah.
And that could be your long-term plan of your investment. Yeah. And then for you to get money in your pocket, you now look at the short-term strategies of what kind of brands and what kind of organizations you can work for and provide writing services that they need so that they can pay you.
Yeah.
And then recognition. I like what you said, and I think it's important. And I struggled with that as well in the beginning when I knew that I had something to say and I knew that I had written all these things, but, recognition sometimes is tied with ego and tied with all those things. And I'm somebody who always wants to park my ego. Yeah. I always never want to carry it with me. When people say, oh my God, I follow you, I'm like, thanks, how big. And why? Not because I'm full of humble pie, but because I never want the things that I do to be who I am. Yeah. Right. I was in a situation where, when I went to that badass workshop, 2 girls came up to me and they were just gushing, young in their early 20s. And one of them was like, oh my God, I have a trifecta. It's you, Amy, Sinovi or something, and Issa Rae in my trifecta. And I'm just so happy I've met you. And I was looking at them like,
You're in great company, first of all.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what a trifecta. But then I was also looking at them because I was sitting down and they were looking up. So I was kind of like looking up at them and I was looking at their faces and they must have seen the expression on my face. And she says, oh, are you okay? You know, and you look, surprised.
You should learn to take it.
No, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It wasn't about not taking it. Mm-hmm. I ended up gathering myself together and I took it, right? Mm-hmm. But I also realized that these young girls, because of what they have seen I have achieved, they assumed that I was a good person. It was like an out-of-body experience. Like if I had told those girls to come and work for me, they'll come and work for me. If I told those girls to whatever. And I think it's really, really important. I've gone through a lot of traps. Having admiration for a person because of what they've done. I was more than a human reference in that point.
An idol.
To an extent. You have a trifecta? Thank you. But also, be wary. Do you know what I mean? Because if I take that knowledge of somebody has a trifecta of me, put me in the same category of Issa Rae, right? Then if I take that knowledge and I carry my shoulder up, I'm doing myself a disservice, right?
Yeah.
I'm a lone wolf.
Yeah.
I don't know Issa.
Yeah.
I like her. She's a human reference. You even got me a picture of her, right? And she's in the office.
Yeah.
But I just think it's important to not take compliments. They say if you live for the compliments, you will die from the criticism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how that tracks on what the advice I'm giving this girl.
It don't make sense.
Okay.
Recognition is two-sided.
Recognition, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
It's two-sided. It can make you or break you because you think you want it.
Yes.
When you have it without substance, you'll feel very empty.
Yes.
I've spent all my life working with very famous people. I can tell you that famous people are very unhappy.
Right.
If they are not intentional about their own joy.
Yeah.
Because what happens next?
Yeah.
You can buy Bolly on the road because you're changing the world.
Right.
You know, so I feel like if you want recognition, you know the things to do.
Exactly.
Go on the internet.
Exactly. I think
put your Medium articles on Instagram every day.
Exactly.
Put your face to it.
Exactly.
Do it consistently, promote it, sponsor it. But that's not what you should be focused on. Exactly. It's inevitable if your work is good. So the question I have for this person is, can you write? If you know this, give it time. The world will know your name.
Yeah. And if you can't write, learn the craft.
Yeah.
And keep writing and keep trying until you get better.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Taiwo, thank you so much.
I'm happy.
For being the first guest on my podcast.
Thank you. Now you have to release this episode first.
No, you're the first guest. Who else would be the first guest? You are the person that told me this was a philosophy.
It's a pleasure of my life to do this with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.